Despite the early showers this morning, it's a bright and sunny day here at the Lassages playing field, and we get ready for the toss for the fourth place playoff between the Real Property Grenada Bailey Blasters and Ginger Generals. Today, I have the honor of standing in as your match referee, and we will now have the toss. Micah, here's the coin. What's your call? Heads it is. Micah, you won the toss. Tell us about what you'd like to do.
First of all, I want to thank the Almighty for bringing us here safely. We're going to have a bat first.
Okay, yesterday your team put on a very strong batting performance. Does that inform your decision to bat first again today?
Yes, I think so. I think the team are on a high, so we're going to try and continue this format as what we did yesterday.
Okay, do you have any changes in your squad this afternoon?
Unfortunately, we only have 11 players. All the rest are injured, so we have to keep with the same team.
Okay, thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Now, Johan, you were sent into field today. If you had won the toss, what would you have done?
I wanted to have a bat first. I think it's the last game, so it gives the opportunity for the batters to just express themselves. Nevertheless, we sent into bowl, so it's just for the bowlers to do. I think we have a couple bowlers also up in the first 5 for wickets as well, so I think it's an opportunity for those guys to finish on a high as well.
The Blasters seem to be clicking in the batting department. What sort of total are you hoping to restrict them to today?
Anything under 100 should be fine.
Okay, thank you and all the best.
No problem.
Okay, there you have it, the toss for today's first match with the Real Property Grenada winning the toss and opting to bat.
A very good morning to one and all, and very good morning to you wherever you're tuned in to this broadcast. We're back here at the Lassages playing field, of course, for the grand finale, the finals of what has been so far a rather intriguing tournament. And before that, we will have the third place playoff, of course, between the Ginger Generals and the Bailey Blasters. It's a lovely morning here at Lassages. We did have some early morning rain, but that really haven't hampered proceedings at all. Of course, lovely view as we sit. One looks at the Roman Catholic Church up in the distance, so it's a pretty clear day today, and one hopes the weather will continue in that light, and we will continue to have a nice, beautiful day. One can see the villages up in the background, that's miles away, so it's a pretty nice day. The umpires are out, and very soon we'll see the start of the Ginger Generals versus the Bailey's Blasters. I'm sure none of them will want to give anything away. They will certainly want to end on a high note. Of course, it's for third place. So one of these two teams will be third and one will have to settle for the fourth place. But they have given their all. They have left their all out on the field. And they will be out for the final time in this Dream 11 5th edition of the Grenada Cricket Association T10 tournament. And soon we will see the commencement of the game. As I said, the umpires are out. Umpire Manwarin and Umpire George, they're all there. Just ensuring that the stumps are in alignment. And here comes the Ginger Generals. So they will be out in the field. And the Bailey Blasters will take first strike. As we see Kotoy and Narain making their way out onto the field. And I say good morning to you, Pastor Stephen Sawam.
Well, good morning to you, Justin, and good afternoon to wherever you are. If it's afternoon in your time zone and night, accordingly. Ginger Generals against the Bailey Blasters. Today promises to be an action-packed, action-filled 10-10 tournament. Should be fascinating.
Yes, of course. As we look, we see the Dream 11 banners at the back, of course, at the front of that they want to make this tournament possible.
Yes, hats off to Bailey Blasters, Ginger General,
They've had a few, one or two very interesting game between them. There's very little to choose between the Bailey Blasters and of course the Ginger Generals. They've had some close encounters, not huge scores, but interesting matches between the two. And one expect very much of the same today.
Yes, very much. Between these two, we should see some heavy hitting. Don't know how much the rain affected just this morning or overnight. We did get quite a bit of showers in the area that I live. We had a few sharp showers this morning, and I suspect that we had some here, but it has not in any way interfered in any untoward manner the match which is about to begin. So Kotoy is going to be taking strike. Maybe today is the day he would click. And they've also opened with Micah Narain, the veteran. And it will be Laurie Williams, the left-arm seamer, who would be picking up the attack.
Yes. So, only set. See the left-handed Kotoy, Kotoy just scratching away at his guard. And signal, of course, from the umpire.
Let the game begin.
Williams just making some late adjustments to the long off. Very busy area in this format of the game. Williams moving.
Yeah, he's moving in to bowl to Kotoy. First delivery. And he's coming forward and pushing that just to the left of the ball on his follow through. And Laurie Williams gleefully gets across the rather fleet-footed to his left and picks up. We expect this game to be played with great camaraderie, but we also expect it to be played in a competitive, fighting manner. Second delivery off the back foot. They'll get their first run as the ball was hit down to extra cover. Not fielded there. Well, partially, and ball parried to sort of wideish mid-off, verging on straightish extra cover. So they're off the mark, and it brings Narain now into strike. It is overcast, but there is no threat of rain, I dare say. We've had some brilliant sunshine over the last few minutes, though. And the sun may be just licking up whatever moisture there's been on the grass. Here is Williams. Wraps him on the pad. Narain, they go through for a single. Let's wait for confirmation from the umpire. Yes, he's just raised that right leg, standing on his left like a stalk, and confirms that that's a leg by. So it's a rather sedate over so far. Williams, he's such a dependable bowler. He's had a pretty decent tournament. Hasn't taken a whole lot of wickets, but he's been the strike bowler. Here is Kotoy driving and gets it out square up the wicket on the offside. Just forward of point and gets a single. So it's a quiet over so far. 4 deliveries gone.
It's good to say that they haven't been a shot in anger yet.
No. That one beats him outside the off stump. He pushed at it. Narain. He's been around forever.
Indeed, he has.
Narain.
Seems that way.
And still, you can see athleticism in him, which means that he's a rather fit gentleman. Yeah, Williams just missed his run up and would go all the way back. How was your night, Justin?
Very quiet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And God was able to wake up this morning.
Another deer, right?
Yes.
Williams. In. And driving that ball, gets it down to mid-wicket. And picks up there. That completes the over. So it's been a quiet, steady over. The first one from Laurie Williams. And after one, it's the Blasters. They're not blasting the way through as yet. They're 3 without loss.
Yes, and as I said, quiet over, very quiet start. And most importantly, they haven't lost a wicket in the first over of the encounter. So that could be a sign that they would probably put up some resistance today, put up a good total that could challenge the Bailey Blasters. And of course, that will make for a very good encounter for us. Of course, there's lots of international cricket going around, and I know you're following, Pastor.
Oh, yeah.
The fortunes of West Indies, it seems like whenever West Indies post a huge total, Irish eyes cry and struggle a bit with the weather. We've had some struggles, but I think they have started. I did check, they were 31 for 1 Ireland in chase of a huge record. In fact, a record on the ground, 385.
Yeah, big. So Jilts starting well.
Of course, Bailey Blasters wouldn't get to 385.
No, they won't. Well, West Indies got 385 for 7. It was a blistering display of batting. The openers fell cheaply. But that is going to go down to the boundary for 4. Let's see what the umpire signal. Runs. Diving effort by the keeper. But couldn't stop it. 4 runs.
Gerald Giles starting from the northern end. It's a bit too short and on the body of the batsman, who just had to swivel with Micah Narayan. Of course, Micah Narayan has really carried the workload for the Bailey Blasters, and is continuing to do so. Short and up in the air, and that could be a catch being offered there. He bubbled it once or twice, but he hung on. Of course, and they're pointing to the heavens as if to suggest that it wasn't too kind to me. But Narayan getting a short one again and not being able to control it. Hit it up into the air and being caught there in the mid-wicket area. Well, we didn't have the wicket in the first over. There we had it at the first delivery of the second over.
Yeah, he got big on him. And I was looking to pull. Maybe a little bit too close to the body. And yes, a little bubble. But in the end, Bubble took the catch on the second attempt.
Yes, so Charles Narayan would have gone, caught Charles Bull Jilts for 5, and total at the moment 8 for no loss, and we're in the second over.
You're just going at that West Indies versus Ireland match. Brandon King went early, scored just 1. Evan Lewis, 14. Casey Carter, 170 of 142 balls, 15 fours and 8 sixes, while Shehub, the captain and keeper, got 75 at a runner ball. Amir Django, 22 of 36, not fast at all, but Graves, 50 of 23, became the fourth fastest half-centurion for the West Indies in the history of the game. Matthew Ford, little cameo, 12 of 5. And in the end, 385 for 7. And, well, the response so far, Ireland there, 42 for 2 after 7.4.
I would like to think that, of course, the West Indies is in control at the moment. And, of course, just the same here. The Ginger Generals would like to feel that. Seeing the back of Narayan, Micah Narayan, they have suddenly seen some level of control in this encounter, this third place encounter in this 5th edition Dream 11. T10 tournament.
It's interesting that Barry McCarthy went for exactly 100 off 10, the opening fast bowler for Ireland.
That too
Picked
was
up
a
3
record.
wickets.
That too was a record for him.
Yes.
But again, not the type of record you want in the to be proud about. So probably just like injury due to cutter. It was a short delivery, and he got hit to me.
Looked like in the chest area. Yeah, I don't think it got right up to the helmet.
Yeah. So
We probably will see it again. It didn't get quite up there, but somewhere around the chest neck area. Let's look at it now. Short. He jumps outside the off stump and got in a real tangle. Oh no, it went a little higher.
Yes, onto the grill of the helmet.
Yeah.
Of course,
For a moment, it looked as though it was somewhere around the chest and neck area. But it was higher than that, maybe hit somewhere in the grill. And the usual check, of course, to make sure that he is all right. Rather challenging delivery there by Jilks, who has already picked up the wicket of Narain. Yeah, look at how he jumped across and then got himself into a tangle. Oh, you just don't really see that very often. That huge jump. You'll be probably advised to maybe make a stride across if you want to play something unorthodox. But that jump across didn't give him the kind of footing rather, that he wanted to play that shot. Both feet were then sort of planked together. And it's the reason why he got all into a tangle.
Not out of the coaching book at all.
No.
There was a terrifying incident too in the West Indies game today when a ball struck one of the cameramen. It was a vicious, well, it struck low, struck hard, and got to the head of the cameraman. Played in the game, was held up for a while. It was a terrifying moment.
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but we hope really that he's all right. 2 overs gone, and Bailey Blasters, they're 9 for 1.
Yeah, 9 for 1, and Virginia Generals will be very, very happy with that. Probably it's one of the slowest starts we've seen in the tournament so far after 2 overs. Of course, there was a wicket did fall earlier in the over, and you want to feel that now it's about reconstructing the innings for the batters out there.
Yeah, just going back to the Ireland West Indies lineup, I think would be some sort of record where in a T20 game, the opening pair, not that they bowled right through, well, I'll come back to that.
Well, a chance there, possible of an outside edge, and wicketkeeper Anil Matthew not holding on to it.
Standing up though. Yeah, so their 20 overs went for 193. The opening pair, both McCarthy's, Liam and Barry.
Again, that movement away from the bat by
They will come
Laurie
back for
Williams.
the second.
And
They had to hurry and just managed to get there. I think the good thing is that the first run was rather quickly. That's important. It's always advisable to run the first one quickly in preparation for the second. Well bowled by Williams. Well played too. Results in a single. So this is a very slow start by Bailey Blasters. They're into the third over. Good bowling by Ginger Generals. 12 for 1. Lot would depend on Kotoy, who's facing now. And he's getting the ball down to backward square. Now, this is really not good cricket. Not good cricket at all by Kotoy. He obviously was disappointed with the shot and just ambled a single, which, in fact, if they had pushed for it, might have been a comfortable two. Your thoughts, Justin?
Yes, but one understands, though, that there was a slight fumble also by the fielder behind square, but Kotoy not taking any chance. They've lost an early wicket.
Back past the bowler, fine shot. They'll get only one though. They will come back for the second. And that's the difference there. Notice that there was a fumble, yes, but they had run the first run quickly. And they were able to go back for the second run. Just looking at the running though of Kotoy, seemed to have a slight limp. Maybe I'm not quite right with my eyes, but we'll look at it. Pulls to mid-wicket. Thought about a single. Maybe quite rightly decided against it. So the over comes to an end. 3 overs gone with Walcott. It's on 6. Kotoy is 3 of 6. And I believe Blasters, they're 15 for 1.
It was 15 for 1. It's a pretty slow start. And they don't have much time to really adjust in this fast-paced game. And the Blasters will really have to make the adjustment and make it very quickly if they are to post a decisive total in this encounter.
Yeah, it's not about going helter-skelter, but it's also about being positive, knowing that you've got only 60 deliveries, so to speak, and you've got to make the best of those 60 deliveries that will be bowled to you. Jeremiah is making sure that he's very meticulous about his field placing, though. Wants to make sure that everybody is in the right position, and that's good. The good captains are very meticulous. They're not necessarily gamblers. So they may take a little longer to ensure that every player is exactly where he or she wants. Oh, there's a bit of a trouble here. The return to the keeper's end. He just got there, Walcott. There's a bit of stutter, start and stop. And then decided to go through in the end, and they got it. Into over number 4 now. This is a very, very sedate start. Pulls down to the deep backward square. Does it have sufficient energy to go over? No. Pulls it back just inside? No. Thought for a moment he had it under control, but didn't. And the ball went over the boundary line, and that's a 4. Welcome, boundary.
Yeah, they need a lot more than that, and with a lot more regularity, they are to really push on and post a score that they can at least try to defend.
Yeah, it's from here they obviously will have to really push hard because they've not gotten off to a good start at all. Yeah, and Kotoy doesn't seem to be enjoying his batting out there. There's a big swing of that one, doesn't make contact, ball goes behind the stumps, the keeper. Not a happy moment at all for the Blasters. Just seem to be stuck on 15. We're in over number 4. It's the ball down to long on, and they go through for a easy single. So Jilks and Williams, they've done a pretty good job for their team so far. Down the track, opens the face of the bat and glides it down to third man. Gets a single. Made advancement down the track early. I think the bowler just saw him and just sort of pushed it a bit wide. And made contact. The ball went down to third man. 4 overs gone. It's 22 for 1.
Yes, 22 for 1. And the batters just trying to do something a bit different. They certainly haven't been able to blast the ball over the top or over for maximums. So therefore, they're trying to be innovative. The bowling has been tight. And as a result, they're 22 for 1. And 4 overs already gone. Scoring at a rate that will only get them up to 55, which I don't think it's a total they would be happy with.
Well, Jilks' ball is 2. 1 for 12. And Williams, none for 9 of his 2. So they've served Jeremiah well, haven't they?
They have. They are certainly clouded over, gotten a lot darker here. Keeps our fingers crossed that the weather will stay away. Of course, in the region, of course, there is some disturbed weather out in the east, approaching these past the Windward Islands. Well, that's a huge. That was big. Oh.
And it's just landed. You heard the thud of the ball outside the commentary booth, but that was a long hit. It really traveled. And yes, that's to our left. And you heard when the ball landed with a big thud. Big hit there by Kotoy. And when he hit it, there was a little recoil with the bat. Oh, that was a severe hit. It was savage.
Where are you parked, Blaster? That's the question.
Not within the eyesight and eye line of Kotoy. That I can assure you. Decided to park outside the ground. For safety, of course. Eugene. Off the back foot he goes. Hits it down to the sweeper position. They will come back for the second. The return comes in to Matthew. But sufficient time to cross for 2. So, good start of this over from Eugene. He's already yielded 8. Moves in again. Kotoy steps outside the leg stump, sweeps that down to backward square. He's going to hold up just inside. They come back for the second. The return comes in. It's a good one. So they get 2 more. Maybe this is where he's decided, look, I've seen a few. Justin, it's time for me to go big.
Yes, and to welcome back the sunshine with us. Has been a little cat and mouse with the cloud cover. And looking to brighten up the innings, Kotoy.
Driven down to long on and gets a single. As Kotoy pushes on. He's gone to 16 of 12. The back foot. Cuts down to backward point. They're coming back for the second and they get it. having to stretch a bit there, Walcott, for the second, but he was in no real danger of being run out. So the scoring rate has now picked up. It's now 7.24. One that was given him a little bit more air. So the projected score now is 70, but of course the Bailey Blasters would be thinking about going much more beyond that. So at the end of 5, it's 35 for 1. Good morning, Refill.
Morning, Stevenson. Oh, afternoon, rather.
Yes, you're right.
Getting pretty on the gloomy side. Yes. Cloud cover just to the east of us. So we haven't been seeing the bright sunlight that we are accustomed to, or what we would have seen yesterday. And we did have some showers
Did you get
overnight
in
into
your
the morning.
in your area?
Certainly.
Yeah, I had a few showers this morning also. They were not torrential. Off the back foot and pulled down to long on. They will come back for the second. As Walcott was quick onto the back foot and pulled it early. Now, when you pull and you go down to long on, it tells you that you've seen it early enough.
Yeah, good shot. A short delivery hit down to, and he hit it down to straightish mid wicket. We're seeing one field at long on, and this one is hit straight back. It seemed not to be getting the time in there.
Yeah, but good to see this period now beginning to speed up things. It's so important. The first 4 overs were rather quiet. Now they've got to put their foot down on the pedal and they've got to decide to speed this up. It's important. It's almost the halfway stage. He's missed this run. We'll have to go all the way back. Is Ronald Williams.
Yeah, you're right. They're into the 6th over. And one of the things they need to really step it up, push that run rate. It's just 7.13 at the moment. And they would want to push that up to probably 10, 12.
Yes. So the next half of the innings is so important. But credit also to the Ginger Generals who have sought to keep things tight, and they've done so pretty well generally.
Yeah, the bowling of Williams, I think they two important peggers as bowlers on the Ginger Generals team. Eugene, our spin can be very tight here so far bowled 1 over. This is pulled, lovely shot, and that goes over backward square for 6. First Power hit, short delivery, and he was into his wicket, Cotoy, and he posited this one over mid wicket.
Yeah, it looked more like a short-arm jab rather than the full swing, full arc, so to speak. That he picked it up early. And whether it was a full swing or a short-arm jab, the issue is that he got it from the middle of the bat, the meaty portion, and lifted it over mid-wicket for 6. Fine shot. Maybe he's trying to be as selective as possible, more waiting for the poorer deliveries to capitalize on. It's gone to 19, though.
That 6 should take him to 25.
25, beg your pardon. Thank you, Refill. Are they going to go back for the second? Yes, they will. And rather comfortably too. So pretty good over so far for the Bailey Blasters. 10 runs coming off Ronald Williams' first 4 deliveries. Still got 2 more. Maybe will target Williams. Always got to have a bowler that you would target. And he might just be this one that Kotoy will be targeting. He's 27 of 16. And he lifts that one.
Straight down to long on, who accept simple catch. Kotoy, they trying to clear it long on. Just was not able to clear the boundary there being caught. Just a few meters from the ropes.
I just wondered whether he couldn't maybe hit it a little straighter rather than trying to tug it down to over the long on area. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that shot because so much depended on him. And with the halfway stage there, well, they've just gone past it. It would have been so important for him to stay there and bat as long as possible and make sure that his team go with rapidity into the second half.
Yeah, he's a key player for Bailey Blasters, and you're right. He should have, if he looked to hit it straighter, I think he would have been able to get it probably over the boundary. Kotoy coming off a good inning yesterday, I think got 66. And really has been clearing the boundary with ease. He had 6 sixes in this inning yesterday. Bailey Blasters want him to bat as long as possible. With 6 overs completed, 47 for 2.
Ireland now 72 for 3 against the West Indies. And Jaden Seals have picked up all 3 wickets that have fallen. He's 3 for 21 of 5.
Yeah, West Indies will want to turn it around in this one.
I think he is our best fast bowler in the region, Jaden Seals.
Yes, he has shown that over the last 2 years. Really,
Yes.
he has been leading the fast bowling attack.
He has learned quickly. He's still young. And he's got great prospects, really.
This one is swung, and where does this go? The fielder seemed to have gone over mid-wicket. Just awaiting the umpire, just would make sure. Shortish delivery. And
Well, it went beyond the boundary.
Yeah, it just seems so from here, but the umpire, I think, will really want to confirm that is the case. Well, well played by Walcott. He has shown that he really has the ability to hit the ball hard. We have seen him play some good innings. And this one here, a short delivery hit down to mid-wicket. Now we're still awaiting the confirmation, whether it's 6 or 4. But we into the 7th over, and certainly, I think both batters would have to begin to really take charge, begin to push the scoring rate. It's only 7.83. Actually, it's 4 signal. So it probably just drop 1 bounce. And it goes down to the boundary for 4. Jonathan Taylor. This one goes. This one, again, clears the mid-wicket a little bit straighter. Clears it fairly comfortable. And there goes a carry power hit. And yeah, just over that wide long on position.
Well, when he hit it, that's Walcott, he remained there because he knew that he struck it well. It was a lovely sound of the bat against leather, and it went all the way. That was the confidence level that he had. It was well struck.
Taylor in a bit of 6, first 2 deliveries, 4 and 6. Now they're going to, I was looking for a second there. I think one of the features of Bailey Blasters have been their running between the wicket. They have been very aggressive. Seeing them picking up twos at regular intervals.
Well, Walcott wanted to, but Dante Alexander was not interested at all. He was halfway down the track. That's Walcott. And Alexander's back was turned to his fellow batter.
Yeah,
I'm a little surprised about that.
Yeah, Walcott would want to take most of the strike, and he's a player that is in. He's 25 from 16.
That's why I think they should have gone back for the second. Wide confirmed by the umpire. I don't know if you got a chance, Rapel, to look at the Casey Carty's innings of 175, I think.
Hit down to long on and dropped. And I'd be disappointed there. That ball going straight down to the long on fielder and getting both hands to it and was not able to hold on. So bad miss there.
Yeah,
Abraham.
a catch that should have been taken. Really should have been taken. At some point, you will have those simple ones that you should take and you drop. It's all part of the cricketing story. We're in over number 7. Just a 1 delivery remaining. 61 for 2. Big swisher, that one. Doesn't make contact.
Yeah, good slow delivery to end the first over by Jonathan Taylor. He went for 14 in his first over, 61 for 2. We had 7 completed over. I think they still can probably get up around 90 or still get to 100. 3 overs to go.
Well, to do that, they'll have to score at about 10 and a half to get to that 100 mark. And a lot would depend on Walcott, who is trying to push on at 26 of 17, but he's got to get the support of Dante Alexander.
Yeah, it's important that Walcott try to take as much as a strike as possible. Williams hit down to long off, and let's see, it just goes over the fielder at long off, and he picked up carry power hit maximum there.
Yeah, fine shot. The effort may have been great too, but it was hit very well. Yeah, it would be very difficult to take those because he was right back on the boundary. And even if he had taken that, it would have been difficult for him to stabilize his body and throw it back in.
Again swung, and this one the long on fielder settles under it and takes a catch. And Good blow. Struck there. Walcott trying to clear the long on boundary, and maybe it reaches a stage where he had to go. Just was unable to clear the boundary. The catch taken by Gerard Jilks on the boundary. Quite a simple catch, but a good linen play there by Dwayne Walcott.
An important innings, yeah. 32 of 18. He would have loved to remain there, maybe to get a half century of 25 thereabout, but it wasn't to be so. Caught down at long on for 32, and the Blasters, they're now 67 for 2, but they're in over number 8 now. They've not lost a great deal of wickets, but the score is with 67 for 3. They're just about 9.14. They'd want to climax this innings, Raphael, with I would think an average about 11, 12, thereabout.
Yeah, I don't want to really go at least 12. But we'd have seen in the last 2 overs, they would have picked up the scoring. We have seen 2 sixes being hit and also a 4. And that would have pushed the run rate to 9.14. It was just bordering around 7.5. So there was an attempt to step it up in the last 2 overs. And Walcott just failing to clear the long on. I think he probably didn't get it really in the meat of the bat. And it just seemed to chop just inside the boundary.
Dylan Joseph replaces him and gets it behind square. Now they've hustled for 1. They do not go back for the second yet, though there was a bit of fumbling down there.
Yeah, they should be able to pick up 2 there. I think Joseph's first delivery was beaten. They played too early. And the tendency is that when you're playing and you look to play a shot and it doesn't come off, it somehow seems to slow you down even in terms of moving to get a single. But there was enough time to pick up 2 there. Being disappointed with the shot.
Wide signal by the umpire. So he's got to bowl that over. Yeah, the projected score is 92. I don't think they'll be happy with that. They would want to get up to that 3-figure mark. Get it beyond 100, Bayleaf Blasters. It's important. Let's see a competitive game here. It's rather humid today, though. It's more humid than yesterday.
Yes, still a bit of a cloud just to the east of us. You know, as we said before, quite a bit of rain fell down my area. But we have seen that even after the rain, the sun come out very hot, and then the cloud come back.
At this time of the year, really, the humidity would be felt much more from the January go up to around May. The northeast trade winds would be up tempo. But when it gets to July, humidity would increase. June, July. So contrary to what some people believe, that when you get into the rainy season, that it will be cooler, that's not the case. Generally, it is warmer around the summertime, though we may be getting more rain. But the trade winds are not as prevalent as the earlier part of the year. Big swish, and that one from Joseph missing. So Williams, he's picked up 2 for 22 and seemed to be enjoying himself, though. There's a huge smile on his face.
Yeah, and he's actually running into ball to a player that he knows very well. And good slower deliveries at the end the second over. Williams is known to be that bowler that tends to use quite a bit of variation. But he has finished his spell, 2 overs, no maiden. He had 2 for 23, 72 for 3 after 8 overs.
Yeah, I think he'll be happy with his 2 for 23 spell. Would have preferred it to be 2 for 15, but he has done what his captain required of him. Picked up 2 vital wickets. And with the remaining 12 balls here, Bailey Blasters, they've got wickets in hand, so it's not they're not in danger of being bowled out, but they're in danger of being restricted.
Yeah, and I think this is that gives you a sense of freedom, not in danger of being bowled out. So try and make use of the next 2 overs. They have been going on to run rate at 9, and if they continue that, it'll bring them to 90. But they will want a bit more than that.
Yes, they've got to target something. He who aims at nothing will always hit it. So aim at something. Aim at triple figures. Get up to that 100 mark. Make this game as competitive as possible. Put pressure on the Ginger Generals. Say, hey, we're going to give you a total of 100. Come fetch it.
Well, we would have seen some low scores being very, very competitive.
Yeah, that's true.
Only two.
Eugene at his second over. First over going for 13. Yeah, they would want to probably get that sort of score. This one is hit. Where does this go? Down to backward square for 4. Short delivery and really given the right treatment there by Alexander. He pivoted and swing it down to what would be a backward square position for 4.
Yeah, he hit that well, got into position very quickly. And that is what allowed him to earn that boundary. Or quickly got into position and pulled it around rather powerfully.
Another short delivery, clipped down to backward square, and another 4. Again, not much power, but more the timing. And place it well. The field on the boundary is fairly square, and that won't win between a short fine leg and that backward square field on the boundary.
Well, I enjoy both shots, but I really enjoy the latter more.
Another short delivery clip, and let's see to same direction and down to the boundary for another 4.
I can't remember seeing anything close to this before. The manner in which he has struck 3 consecutive boundaries down to backward square, all of which really getting inside the line and using the tide well. Those are 3 magnificent shots. Well played.
So we see the short finally just coming out and doing a move into his left, a little closer to the umpire, backward square. Then he's looking to play down the leg side. And this one probably hit him outside the off stump. But looking for the same shot.
Yeah, well, a bit lucky to get away with that. You know, he'll be advised, Eugene, to throw the ball up outside
Another
the
short
off
ball
stump.
swung. And someone is going to get on right as the fielder comes in. No, he just dropped short of the fielder. And Alexander was able to pick up a single.
Yes, when you see over coming to an end, a productive one there. And, there's one more, I reckon. Or has it come to an end? But when you see a batsman is intent of repeating a shot, yes, it earned him 3 consecutive boundaries, then you don't want to give him the impetus to do that again. So you'd have to change your line maybe, push it a little wider and say, well, try and hit this to through the leg side where you had hit the previous three. Those are the little things that features you've got to look at as a bowler, and you've got to be always thinking, what should be my next move? He should not have been hit down to backward square on 3 consecutive occasions. So that's not good bowling.
Yeah, it has been a good over. 14 runs coming off the over. So Eugene Paul played down to at mid-wicket area, long on, wide long on position, and again, just want a single being taken there.
Yeah, I would criticize them because if they'd scampered the first run, and there was a bit of fumble down there at the deep mid-wicket area, and if they had gone for that first run very quickly, could have put pressure or added pressure onto the field, and they might have gotten 2. In the end, they had to settle for 1.
So 87 for 3. We into the final over.
They probably will get up to that 100 mark, but they would need a couple of boundaries in this over to do that. Singles won't do. No, will they go for 2? They've gone for 1. They stuttered, and they come back because the fielding wasn't particularly good. They get 2.
Yeah, important to put pressure on the fielders there. And they ran the first one quickly. And the fielder, they're probably just looking up before he could have picked up. So he just fumbled. And they pick up 2. Pushes the score to 89.
Such an important over here bowled by Taylor. He's done for 17 so far. Always a difficult time to bowl, that last over.
I do believe I think it's more a struggle for the faster bowlers than the spinners. Bowling slow.
Are they going to come back for the second? No, they decide against it. And maybe quite rightly too, as the return comes.
Yeah, just making the point that, it's probably easier for the batters when the faster bowlers is bowling. Give you time. Settle to decide to make up your mind what you're going to do. But the spinner would take 2 steps and push it through. Probably a bit harder.
Yes, maybe get through and over in maybe 100 seconds. The spinner, that is.
So they're just about past 90. They're 91 with just 1 delivery remaining. So they in fact would have scored already 19 runs in the last 2 overs.
So he looks to be run out. White ball, looking to steal a single. And I don't know if they really read this right, because it was a white ball, and wondered whether it was really necessary to try to take the single of the wide.
Well, maybe on this, they probably pick up the wide lead and thinking it's the last delivery.
Yes.
I think they probably thought it was the last delivery. We see Alexander, they was actually turning to walk out.
Yeah, not realizing that there was just 1 more ball to go. 92 for 4, 9.5 overs completed.
Dana George. Just coming into the bat. He will just face one delivery.
What is he going to do with this one? Final delivery of the innings. Slow one. Well bowled. They're going to go for the single, and will be run out. So rather sedate last over. They obviously would have looked for something big, but they didn't. Bailey Blasters could muster only 92 for 4 of their 10 overs, and not the total they were looking for. They obviously would have liked to get up to maybe 110, 120. They've fallen short by that. So 92 for 5, and the Ginger Generals would think that they're in with more than a chance.
Yeah, they would have probably be looking for another 20. But 92 for 5 already runs on the board, and the Ginger Generals, who we have not seen bat as we expect them to, will have to try to get up to 93 for victory. So we can still have a pretty exciting game. The Ginger General boasts of the likes of Johan Jeremiah.
So let's look at the bowling figures there with Jarrett Gilt picking up 1 for 12. Laurie Williams bowled well but didn't pick up a wicket. Was a bit expensive for Janelle Eugene. None for 27 of 2. Ronald Williams did very well. 2 for 23 of 2. And Jonathan Taylor, a little expensive. None for 20 of his 3. But all in all, it was a pretty good bowling performance, particularly from the opening bowlers. Well, Kotoy struggled a little bit in the early part of his innings, but he got to 27 of 17. Narain didn't do particularly well, scored 5. Walcott went for 32. He was the main spark of the innings, 32 of 19, had 2 4s and 2 6s. Alexander, in the end, not out, 17 of 11. Joseph, 6. And, of course, Darrell George was run out, no score. So a total of 92 for 5, 92 for 5 of 10 overs. And it means that the Ginger Generals will have to score 93 for victory. I think the Ginger Generals could be very happy with this total. I think that they have bowled particularly well. The fielding may not have been up to the 100%, but by and large, to keep the Bailey Blasters to under 100, they can fancy themselves to have done rather well indeed. 93 will be the victory target, and the Ginger Generals will come back to chase that down. We'll be here to bring you the run chase. Welcome back here at the Lassages playing field, where the Bayleaf Blasters and the Ginger Generals are locked in battle. Bayleaf Blasters 92 for 5 of their allotted 10. Didn't live up to their name, really, in blasting their way through that 10 overs. They were restricted by the Ginger Generals. And now the Ginger Generals would seek to chase that total down within that 10 overs allotted to them. Good afternoon, Rayfield.
Good afternoon, Stephenson. We expect another tight one, even though Billy Blaster would have just get to 92. Based on what we have been seeing in this tournament, it can still be a challenge, and I would think that Ginger Generals will still have to bat well to get 93, which is required for victory.
Yes. Still good conditions here at the Lassages playing field. Here's the first delivery that is pulled. Just waiting for the umpire.
Yeah, but first
Still waiting, aren't we?
Alvin Ramnot was short delivery hit over mid wicket. Seemed to be signal, but we still are waiting the umpire. But given the right treatment, was a short delivery, and it really was dispatched by Johan Jeremiah, a player we know that does have the ability to pick up those short deliveries.
We're still waiting, really. Confirmation as to.
So there's two fielders on the boundary on the onside. You have the long on, right back on the ropes. And then a mid wicket, back on the rope.
Yeah, we're just waiting confirmation as to whether that went all the way or not. So players been held up here just for a brief moment. Still waiting.
Just a look at the field a bit here. We see a ring of fielders on the leg side. The left-handed Jeremiah, short third man, backward point cover, extra cover, and a mid-off, all in the ring. And a short fine leg, backward square.
Okay.
So 93 required.
Yeah, so it has just been confirmed that it has gone for a Carib power hit maximum.
Hitting down to mid-off. Just go over the fielder head and going down to the boundary for four. It did look as though he was going straight to the mid-off fielder.
Yeah, maybe if he were just a wee bit back, or if he were a taller fielder, seemed to be Narayan, and that went over his head down to the boundary for 4. So 2 consecutive 4s by Johan Jeremiah. He's quickly gone to 10 of 2. This is the third delivery that he's coming forward and hitting down to the long on boundary, would get a single. So 3 deliveries bowled. They're into double figures already, so he's come out. Johan Jeremiah, man on with a mission.
Yeah, he's come with firing. And really, maybe his intention is to finish this game as quickly as possible. He left it down too long on. The fielder just had to look at it go by his head. And then yet again another Carib power hit. Ball pitched up. And Eugene really lifting this one over long on and picking up well-deserved 6.
Yeah, Eugene launched a severe hit. That was a fine
Swing down
shot.
to mid-wicket, over the fielder at mid-wicket yet again for another Carib power hit. And the Ginger General is racing in the first over. 5 deliveries, 23 without loss. Really seemed to have come out on a mission. Not looking to make that 92, which is required, too difficult. Another short delivery hit for 4 past the point fielder. Really have been a rather expensive first over. Alvin Ramnott going for 27. And Ginger Generals offered a flare.
Yeah, real carnage here. Real carnage. This is the first over and didn't give Ramnott the remotest of an opportunity to settle. Eugene 16 of 3, Jeremiah 11 of 3, none for 27.
Yeah, they seem on really on a mission, taking full advantage of short bowling there by Ramnath, but still when it was pitched up, Eugene was equal to it to hit him over long on.
Wow. It's amazing. 27 after the first over.
Yes, it's difficult after an over like this to really come back. But we know what this game of cricket is like. Dana George going to pick it up from the commentary end or the southern end. Good slow ball there. Jeremiah looking to climb into it and had to change. Just play it on the onside, but really good delivery.
Yeah, made advancement down the track, Jeremiah. And well bowled, I thought, in the end by George, just to cramp him. Made a couple of steps, looking to give him the charge.
Swing, this one goes down to the third man area for 4 again. Swinging hard was Jeremiah there. Shortish delivery, and this was a quicker one. Bowled by George, and again, pace would have probably got the better of him, taking the outside edge, but flying high over where a slice it would have been.
Yeah, certainly not where he intended it to go. But then he went hard at it. And when you do go hard at the no ball, it's going to really fly away.
Swung. A lovely shot. That's a huge hit. Poor hit. And actually dropped just to the left of us here. But pitched up. And he really swung into this one. The Jeremiah hit it really high and hard. And just dropped into the left of us on the pavilion. A huge hit there by Jeremiah.
Yeah, that was a big hit. He launched severely into it and hit it with disdain and power. And went over the boundary line for 6. Change of balls. We've had that, Rafael, for the entire tournament, where balls have been hit to different parts of the boundary, beyond the boundary, and were never retrieved.
Well, the final check 2 days ago, I think it was just about 4 boxes ball that I had to replace, and it could very well reach 5. And the ball was really hit out of this venue on a consistent basis.
Yes. Maybe we should have had a couple of ball boys around. You know, some of those young boys, they delight in doing that. Go retrieve the ball, send it back onto play. Jeremiah aiming for the boundary again. Just managed to tug it behind square. So they've really careened to 37 without loss. We're still in over number 2. Still 2 legal deliveries to go in over number 2. George, none for 10. As he moves in once more to bowl to Jeremiah.
Swung. Someone is going to get under this one. Looking for the pull and dropped.
Oh, he dropped it. Well. He had eternity to take the catch. Look at it, folk. Jeremiah didn't cue it all that well. Went very high. And, well, what a bad miss. Really a bad miss.
Yeah, really, it's position. He didn't really get into the best position, looking to take it over his head. Just fumbled and was unable to hold it on the second attempt. Again, the pace there of George, every now and again, you're going to really try to pong it in. And the height there, Jeremiah is hitting straight. This one goes for a huge hit. And that goes for 6. Another carry power hit again, dropping in the pavilion. Ball pitched up and really given the right treatment as he swung into it.
Well, it didn't matter what happened the previous delivery. You know, sometimes when a catch goes down, you would feel that you played a false shot. And so the next one, you'll be a little bit more discreet. But he really launched into a severe hit. And he hit it so hard. They are making a statement here, a really big statement. General, they could well do this within a 5-over package.
Yes, certainly. And it was John Eugene who would have hit that straight for 6. And a powerful blow struck there. So after 2 overs, it's 44 without loss. And both batsmen on 22. Eugene 22 from 4 deliveries. Jeremiah 22 from 8 deliveries.
George not for 17 of 1. Wow. So we
had 2 overs of 27 and 17.
They need another 49 in 48 deliveries.
Alexander.
You think they're going to ease up here, Raphael, or they're just going to keep going?
I don't think so. I think they will keep going. The momentum that they have, really.
Looking to cut that. Eugene didn't make contact, but they do go through for, was it a bye?
Bye.
Yes.
So we had a number of boundaries hitting in so far. 6s and 4s.
Eugene has struck 1 4, 3 6s, while Jeremiah has struck 2 4s and 2 6s.
This is another boundary, lovely shortest delivery, and Eugene continue his boundary hitting. Just steered past that gully feeler, and it run down to that third man area. Pick up another 4.
Yeah, I played it late and fast outfield too, and the ball ran away rather quickly to the boundary. So he has picked up his second 4. They're really in a hurry. Maybe it's a plan that they had. before coming out to bat, we're going to go hard at this.
Yeah, and I think they would continue to play aggressive. They're in a good position. Hit, this is another 4. Ball pitched up and lifted over down to that mid-on area. Just the feeling that mid-on had no chance. Yet another 4 struck there by Eugene.
Yeah, now this is excessive punishment. Maybe that's not the right thing to say, but from the context of the game, 53 without loss, and we're just in over number 3. It's been carnage, brute force, brutality, willow beating leather. That's what it has been.
Short delivery. This one again goes over mid-wicket and going to run close to the boundary. Let's see, probably just been cut off inside the boundary.
They had sufficient time to cross for 2. In fact, Eugene wanted a third. And Jeremiah aborted the idea, said no, let's keep it to 2. Gives Eugene a chance to maybe go big again. It's gone to 30 of 7. It's been his innings of the tournament so far.
So the umpires, they're going to just check to make sure that ball was saved. Batsman completed 2 runs.
You remember the days, Jerry, when players were quick to motion to the umpire that it was 4 or 6 as the case may be? They hardly do that these days, do they?
Yeah. At one time, cricket being called a gentleman's game was certainly played like that. We come to the end of the power play. 55 without loss after 3. And really has been a good start by the Ginger Generals. Really have been dominating the bowling so far.
Yes, 55 after 3. That is really quick scoring. And the run rate is 18.33. That's huge.
Yeah, and interestingly, both batsmen they have faced 9 deliveries each. Eugene 32 from 9 and Jeremiah 22 from 9.
Yeah, aggression has been the key word for the Ginger General.
And it actually came from both ends, not one, but both ends, both
And that-
batters.
Yeah, that is what made it so sparkling and entertaining and enterprising. Not just one batter pulverizing the bowling, but it's a combination of a duo there. Both of them are doing it with equal efficiency. White ball confirmed by the umpire. Ball slanting down the leg side. So Delon Joseph, of course, brought in to see whether he can stem the tide, the rapid flow of runs from these two left-handers.
A full toss, swung, and this goes for another huge carry power hit, another maximum. The ball was bowled full, and Jeremiah just moved into it and really timed it well and hit it over mid-wicket yet again to pick up another maximum.
Well, I enjoyed the shot. I enjoyed it from the context that he marched down the pitch like a general he did.
Down the
Marched
track,
down
and
again.
this goes even further, another maximum. You could see it just going over the pavilion there, maybe dropping inside. Another powerful hit, another carry power hit. And really, Ginger General is really sailing.
Yes, this has been made easy. And they're sailing across. You talk about them sailing, and yes, it's not sailing on rough waters, but rather sailing on smooth, calm waters. At least they're making it look smooth and calm. But I think the ball again has been lost, and they will seek to get a replacement.
Yeah, well, that's tremendous hitting there by Jeremiah. He moves 34 from 10 deliveries. I would make it probably 11 deliveries now. And Eugene, 32 from 9. Have been a really sensational start. And yet again, ball need to replace. One would think with so many balls having to be replaced, one would think that is a small venue, but really it's not. But again, tremendous hitting by the players.
Yeah, you're right, Raphael. It's not a little countryside ground, this Lassages. Pretty big ground, extensive boundaries. And so it will take quite a bit of hitting to get clearing beyond the boundary. But they have done it with great regularity here. And in this innings also, we're in over number 4 still. And the run rate is 20.40. I think that's the highest we've had in the tournament so far after or into the 4th over.
And this one sort of miss hit here, but it goes down. And let's see, just to confirm whether it goes for another maximum of 4. Yes, it goes for another carry power hit. Bad delivery, full toss down the leg side, and really deserved that treatment. Although it wasn't hit as well as Jeremiah intended, but had enough to clear the boundary.
Yeah, the fielder in fact just confirming and saying to the umpire he did go all the way. Ball him! Well, looking to swing across the line. Timber, Bills, spattered all over the place. Joseph making the breakthrough, played across the line, and so Jeremiah has lost his wicket. And what a fiery performance this has been. Finally dismissed for 40, and the Ginger Generals are now 74 for 1.
Yes, looking to repeat the shot, and in the mood he was in. He's looking to go for the big one, and I'm not so sure. It just seemed as though he got some bat onto it, and it came back onto the stumps. But as we probably look at the replay again, looking to again to pull that delivery over mid-wicket, and as you said, playing across it, and I think losing his middle stump. So 74 for 1. We're still in the 4th over, still in a commanding position, Ginger General.
But it's been a really marvelous innings of 40. Just how many balls? Is it 13 balls he faced? 13 balls, 5 sixes and 2 fours for 40. That's phenomenal. That's over 300 being his strike rate. And then Matthew comes out and hits straight, gets off the mark, and would bring now Eugene into strike. Just one more delivery.
Eugene himself has also been traveling. He's 32 from this 9 deliveries.
Another wide confirmed by the umpire. So that would have to be bowled over by Joseph. was 1 for 22. 1 for 22. Got the wicket of Jeremiah, but they've been severe on him. Joseph to Matthew, and gets a single to complete the over. So some 4 overs gone. It's now 78 for 1, and with the current run rate of 19.50, they have made really very low work of this modest total. So 15 runs to win, and they've got to get there in 36 deliveries. That should be a simple, quiet afternoon walk in the park.
Well, the way they have been going, we could all finish by the end of this over. Really make light work of that score. 93, which is required. 78 for 1 in 4 overs. And Eugene has played a good hand. Anil Machu, as we know, who can really strike the ball. Full toss and dispatch of the Carib Maximum, a huge hit. And that looked as though it dropped on the building over the river. It's a massive hit there by Anil Matthew.
Yeah, there have been so much traffic in the air over the last 2 or so weeks. Be interesting to see how many sixes have been hit in the tournament. It must be close to 300. It's been a lot, really. They've gone high and handsome. And of
So
course,
we're certainly going to give viewers that amount of six hits. We're going to do that during the next game. But really has been a tremendous amount of six being hit. I know the last check was yes, it's way over 300. The last check would have been 271. And that is 2 days ago. So really it would be far over 300. We get that information soonest. But really have been Ginger Generals that have come out on a mission and really would have took the advantage from ball 1, which was struck for 6. Seeing they move to 84 for 1. We're not at the halfway stage yet.
you're right. Don't see this going beyond 6 overs, Ripple. And over number
But
5 here.
certainly not. I am not so sure he's going to pass if we're going to reach 5 overs. Goes into the air, taking out cover, and miscue there by Matthew. Again, short delivery and looking to pull. I don't think he was in correct position. Just played it to cover for a simple catch taken by Narayan.
Yeah, a ball really that probably should have sought to play somewhere through the offside. But so many of these players wanting to pull from outside the off stump through forward square might have gotten big on him and sought to pull, but didn't go very far. I think he'd be a little bit disappointed with that dismissal, though, Matthew.
Yes, it was a short delivery, and one of the things that you would have really tried to put this away, maybe for another maximum. Probably it was also a slow one, and maybe played a bit too early, and just managed to hit it to cover. And Narayan accepted a simple catch.
So just 9 required.
Balls there. Right arm over.
Sherelle Jeremiah's come out to replace Matthew, who's caught by Narayan. Leg by signal by the umpire. We're in over number 5. We're thinking that this may be completed in over number 6. 8 runs needed. We're midway through the 5th over. That one pulled flat and hard down to deep mid wicket. Just a single. Return coming in very quickly. Back to the bowler's end.
And that's superbly played down to backward square for 6. Nice pickup by Jeremiah. Ball just seemed to be slanting down the leg side and playing with the tide. As you see here, lifted it. And really a really safe shot. Well played by Jeremiah.
Yeah, he hit that hard. And there was a confident A about that swing of the bat. Of course, just taking over from where the top 2 opening batsmen left off.
So another carry maximum. And scores are no even. So all indications we can finish in this 5th over.
Quite possibly. Did say 6th, but this is the final delivery in the 5th over. Well, they'll have to wait until the 6th. He had just opened the face of the bat and glided it down to short third man. Didn't go for the single. So the current run rate 18, just 1 run needed. The scores are leveled now. Bay Leaf Blasters would think that they didn't give themselves enough runs. Maybe having fallen short by about 15 or 20.
Or the way that Ginger Generals have batted, certainly with just 5 overs completed, they probably would have had to score maybe another 60. And this one is hit down to mid-wicket, straight to the fielder, drops it and goes for another carry power hit. Ball swung right down to the fielder there. And just failing to take this one.
And Blash was not very happy about it at all. He was upset, really angry. And you can't be too upset with him because he should have picked up a wicket. So the Ginger Generals, well, they have just defeated the Bay Leaf Blasters by 8 wickets. It was a very, very easy match, really. They bowled very well, the Ginger Generals, and restricted the Bay Leaf Blasters, and then came and blew them away with blistering aggressive batting. They've won by 8 wickets.
Yeah, you don't always often see it happening, but I think that they would have played an innings here that, well, one that we have not seen in the tournament so far, but really was a blazing and a reply by Ginger General. And really from ball 1, they really would have put back to ball, and they came into the inning with a clear intention in terms of what they want to do. And they took the attack to Bay Leaf Blasters and never let up from ball 1. And came off really to a really comfortable and a resounding victory. winning by 8 wickets. I think Keltron Andrew there just missed that last delivery going for 6. Really sort of summed it up in terms of what happened. But the Ginger Generals really turned it on and come out with a convincing victory.
Yeah, great victory it was. The players just exchanging handshakes. And of course, the officials, part of that post-match requirement where the two teams meet and just shake hands and maybe have a fraternal word or two to each other, all done in the good, beautiful spirit of the game, as Bailey Blasters were certainly outplayed, outwitted by the Ginger Generals, who've won by 8 wickets in a very lopsided, one-sided, but convincing manner. So none of the first 3 bowlers picked up wickets. Ramnath, Dana George, Dante Alexander went wicketless. Dylan Joseph picked up 1 for 23. Shaquan Olive had 1 for 13. And Blanche, who really should have had a wicket off the only ball he bowled, but in the end it went for 6. So all of the bowlers were in fact treated rather roughly, maybe with the exception of Shaquan Olive, who had 1 for 13. 98 for 2, and that was done in 5.1 overs.
Yeah, it's very difficult after you would have. It's just as we continue with the scorecard.
Well, Jeremiah had 13 balls he faced for his 40 runs, and Eugene 39 of 11. They came out in a blistering move and obliterated the opponent's attack. In the end, Anil Matthew caught Michael Narayan of the bowling of Shaquan Olive for 4 deliveries. And Gerald Jeremiah, well, not out 6, hit the winning runs, and 98 for 2. It was probably the fastest scoring innings we've had in the tournament.
Yes, I would think so. Really has been the fastest. Probably, yeah. I was looking to see if anyone going to get onto the 50. Really would have been the fastest. But when you chasing a target of 92 and you get 27 off the first over, really it's very, very difficult for the bowling team to come back. So I think it was good to see that Ginger General really took their advantage from the first over, and from that position.
You think that was the instruction, Raphael, or they said, well, let's get out there and just play positive or play it as we see it, or they decided we're going to go hard?
I think they went out with the intention to go hard because, and you saw it from both batters. From the first delivery that was hit for 6. And then I think to be fair, I don't think it was the best over bowled. There was a number of short deliveries. They took advantage of it, and probably they went up in a positive frame of mind to really play positive. But sometimes you get bad bowling, and that sort of give you the encouragement to keep going. But I think after the first over, and you would have had 27. I think the intention was clear. Let's keep going. And really, there was a blistering opening partnership really in quick time. And Bailey Blaster really didn't have a chance.
Yeah, and you're right. They kept going and going until they eclipsed the total, modest total. I think the Bailey Blasters would be disappointed that they didn't get over the 100 mark. And when you have a total like 91, you know that it would always be threatened.
Yeah, and interestingly, we have seen these small scores that have been very challenging in the tournament. And even a score of 92, which we from our end we could think is a small score, but based on what we have seen before, those small score seem to be very challenging. One remembers 78 scored, and yet that score was a winning score. Even looked at that all-important game yesterday and found that it was sort of struggle for close challengers to even get the required score of 70 for victory, having really to dig deep in the middle. So one still felt that 92, could have been still challenging. But the Ginger Generals today had different thoughts and came out all guns blazing and came off with a tremendous victory.
Well, victory indeed. And they did so in a comprehensive and dominating manner. They've won this and won it by some 8 wickets. We still will be waiting. There should be a post-match ceremony.
Yes, but we know we're the big one.
Yeah.
We know we're the big one and the finals. And that will
Nutmeg Warriors.
Coming your way shortly, Nutmeg Warriors. And they're going to come up against close challengers. Actually, the same two teams that met in the finals last year at the same venue. So it will be interesting to see what happens here. But just to look at the two teams briefly as we wait for the presentation, we look at both teams and we look at how they have been playing close challengers, as we know, start off really well. Only lost one game in the preliminaries and really was seemingly started off playing well. They would have faltered to me in the last few games in terms of their batting. And I think if they're going to do well today, they will have to bat. They do have the caliber of players. They do have a pretty well-balanced team. And if they're going to do well, if they're going to turn it around this time around, the batting will have to come up.
Yeah, you're right. They started off in such a fine manner, played good team cricket, and just fading a little to the back end of the tournament. And with defeat against the Nutmeg Warriors a couple of days ago, that may be of a little disadvantage. But I guess it's a team that have so many good players on it, and if they do click, then the defending champions could well be dethroned. It's hard to really say where this game is going to go, and I think the two correct teams, if you want to put it this way, Rafael, found themselves right there in the finals.
Yeah, they deserve to be in the final. They have probably been the two of the better playing teams. But again, you're looking at the team, there are some important players on both teams that you probably need to come good. We look at Nutmeg Warriors, and we see the performance of Charles, really a key player for Nutmeg Warriors. We haven't seen Fletcher really come off yet. He haven't given us a big one, but players of that caliber, they can come good at any time. Maybe the finals might be the time to come. But I think there are two players that we probably need to look at in terms of the performance, the ability that they has. So they can make a huge difference. Likewise, we look at close challengers and we think about Darren Ned, who has been really one of the top players. We haven't seen the best of Keto, but we know his ability. Samuel Charles also. And it really makes good for what should be a keen final.
Agree with you. I think the names that you call, maybe barring Ned for close challengers, would feel that they have underachieved. The glove work of Charles hasn't been bad, but batting at the top of the innings, he should understand the role that he has to play. Get his team off to a very good rousing start and try to bat longer than he has batted throughout the tournament. And you talk about Cato, yes, who just didn't seem to get rhythm and get form at all during the course of the game. And so you've got to be careful that there is not a over dependency on a Darren Ned. He is a very important member of the team, but everybody today for the Clove Challengers will have to put up their hands and say, hey, this is my day, this is our day. We're going to play good, sensible, aggressive cricket, and we want to come out as victors in this championship.
Yeah, he certainly agrees with you. The likes of, as we would have seen yesterday, the likes of Court Murray, Javed Hazard, you know, the likes of Court Murray that we have seen yesterday played a tremendous and important inning to bring them home in that all-important game. And then, you know, the batting of Javed Hazard, we also know what he can do. So, you know, as we look at the makeup of the team, there are players that certainly have the ability to really make a serious impact in terms of what happened. And this is why, you know, I continue to say that you look at the makeup of the Clove Challengers, they seem to me to be better balanced even than Nutmeg Warriors. Nutmeg Warriors, you would expect, you know, Fletcher, Charles really to take the lead. And, you know, it's for balance, I would want to think that Clove Challenge is more balanced. But again, we have seen the approach of Nutmeg Warriors when they played the game before, which brought Nutmeg Warriors to the final. And sometimes it all goes down to the approach, the method that they use and the tactics that they use. And there's two experienced players on both teams. And today we probably might just see experience played out. And certainly with Fletcher being probably the most experienced, we probably can see the more experienced team coming forward.
Yeah, you're right. And every team's got its day. The day when they do very little wrong. And either the Clove Challengers or Nutmeg Warriors would want that to be their day, which is today. You don't expect a flawless performance by either team, but this is when they've got to bring the top-notch game. This is the grand finale, so to speak, and they have to come on board with their best feeling, their best bowling, best batting, and I'm referring to both teams now. And it has to be an amalgamated, coordinated effort on the part of everyone to make sure they get this right. The fielding's got to be aggressive. The catches have to be taken, and the bowlers got to be on the spot. Whether it's the variation, slower ball, faster ball, sprayed a little bit outside the off stump, asking the batsman to reach for it. Whatever happens, they've got to be thinking out there, and they've got to bring the A game out there to the middle, and whoever plays the better cricket, they're going to win this.
Yes, certainly. It's a day that you want to bring your best. And one important thing here is, as we look at the pitch, it doesn't matter who bats first or who bats second. There's no difference in terms of what you would expect on the pitch. No advantage. But the surface is really a good one, and we have seen it right through the tournament. Whether you bat first or you bat second, you know, it doesn't tells you that the spinner going to do a little better or the fast bowler going to do a little bit better, but really it's even across the board. And that really makes for good competition. As you rightly say, the team that would have stick to the game plan and been able to perform at the highest level outside is going to come through the victories. We're talking about the feeling, we're talking about batting, we're talking about the bowling. We have already seen some brilliance in the area of fielding from Clove Challengers. But certainly the team that really stick to the plan is going to come out on top.
Oh, we go downstairs now for the post-match ceremony.
Give us your thoughts.
I mean, put everything in one words. The team played better than us. Pretty fine, I would have.
Okay, you had some good patches. You came in with a bit of momentum. What do you think went wrong today?
As I said, momentum in cricket. When you lose wicket, you're not scoring runs, batters going on there. It's hard to capitalize from momentum. And that didn't happen our way. And with their batting, I think Johan played a very good inning and they just take it from there and take the game away from us.
All right, well, thank you very much, Micah. And good luck to you as you continue. We're hoping that we'll see you in the next season.
Of course, I'm playing cricket, but I think for captaincy, our team are going to step down as a captain, but I will still be playing cricket.
All right, thank you very much, Micah. We're moving into the presentations and we are going to present the impact bowler for this match, Ronald Williams. He will receive his award from Mr. Keisha Belford, our administrative secretary. Ronald, I want you to run away from me. You came into this match, your team just looking to make sure that it seals its position. You were throwing the ball. What were your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I want to thank God for bringing us here safely. And as I went out there, I know I was like 1 wicket behind. So I just know that I had to get like just 2 or 3 just to make sure it's safe. So I went out there and do that.
All right, well, you really done well. And so we want to wish you good luck maybe in the next season. Let's hope you stay with the Ginger.
All right, thanks.
All right, so we're moving ahead. We're going to be speaking to the captain of the Ginger Generals. We are going to be speaking to the man of the match. We are going to be speaking to the Carib power hitter, Johan Jeremiah. He has everything going for him today. Johan, everything going your way today, but really a little too late.
Yeah, as I said before, we didn't have the best of tournaments, but it's just for the guys to come back, to just assess where they went wrong and look to come better next year.
All right, so you ended this year on a high. What can we expect from the Ginger Generals next season?
Well, it's a bit too early to call, We have to go back through the process in terms of the draft system, see if we can get a more balanced team. Hopefully that can work in our favor. But nevertheless, I still want to commend the guys, I think it was an up and down tournament, so it's just for them to learn and, just come back stronger.
All right, so I'm going to allow you to collect your awards. All right, well, Johan, as I said, good luck. I see you. Well, let's see what happens, whether you decide to change teams or what happens from here, all right?
Maybe, maybe they need a new captain, but nevertheless, I'm still grateful for the opportunity to help, guide the youngsters. So just want to wish the 2 teams in the finals all the best, but thanks to all the supporters as well for coming and support. I think it was really a good tournament for the local guys to showcase their skills, so thanks.
All right, so there you had it, Johan Jeremiah, the captain of the Ginger Generals. We are 1 step away from crowning a champion. It will be an epic match. These 2 teams have battled really hard through the preliminaries, and they deserve to be in the final. In a few moments' time, when you get back with us, we are going to have the start of the finals. Nutmeg Warriors versus the Clove Challengers. A repeat of last year's final. Let's see who will come up trumps.